Coming up on this edition of Speed Chronicles, the real story.
SIG Media presents
Speed Chronicles with Todd Lewis.
Powered by Rev TV.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out this week's edition of Speed Chronicles. We do it every Wednesday. It's on the Rev TV YouTube channel. It's available on your favorite podcast platforms. Please like, subscribe, and yes, feel free to share it around. Thanks for all the good feedback and comments as well. We do appreciate it. October. We're into October now. We're nearing the end of some seasons. I know some racing series have already concluded their season, but October sort of sneaks up and, hey, we're into the last quarter of the year now. And okay, so let's get to some championships that are kind of rounding into form. NASCAR would be one. There's off-season news we want to get into with some IndyCar and some other things as well. So we'll take a look back at NASCAR Cup last week at Kansas. Well, we had the, of course, green, white, checkered finish, or NASCAR overtime as it's billed. It's not my favorite. It's manufacturing drama as far as I'm concerned. I think that if you have a race distance advertised as a certain number of laps or a certain distance, that's how long the race should be. I think you are manufacturing drama and unique situations if you do this. Would the race in Kansas have ended the same way if we didn't have green, white, checker finishes or NASCAR overtime, if you will? Who knows? We had a finish, we had drama, and of course, the drama on track, of course, spurred social media drama and outrage and questions in some areas. But again, whatever. If it's 400 miles, 400 laps, whatever, I think that's what it should be. No additional laps, no additional miles. That's the one item. Finish it. So, but here's the thing. Who was wrong was the big question asked following the Kansas Cup race. Because, of course, it looked like good old Denny Hamlin might be on his way to another victory. He won stages. Stages. Another one of my favorites. Anyhow, looked like he was going to win. Looked like he was going to have a clean sweep of the race. But then again, no. This is not what happened. There was a little contact on the final laps of what turned out to be the race, or what turned out to be the final laps of the race, and it wasn't Denny Hamlin that won. There was a little coming together. It wasn't even real coming together. They sort of had a little nudge and touch, and Bubba Wallace kind of got high and got into the outside wall, and he didn't win. And Denny Hamlin didn't win. So it's, of course, how dare he? No, Denny did not take out Bubba Wallace, as some people suggested. No, he didn't door him into the outside wall, as others suggested. No, I don't believe he deliberately ran him up the racetrack. He was fighting his car. It was a handful because there was no power steering. Did he have total control over it? Probably not. But remember, it's the last lap of the race. He's had the best car. The power steering issues developed. Bubba Wallace was absolutely right. He was going for the win. Denny Hamlin was absolutely right. He was going for the win. And I don't blame him. If you had that good a car on the last lap of the race, you were going to stick it in there and try and hang on and hold on for a victory. Think of the milestone it would have been as well. 60th of his career, 6th of the season. Bubba Wallace is upset? Sure, understandably so. Had a chance to win, it didn't turn out. Chase Elliott got a gift. His Hail Mary strategy, I got nothing to lose. I'll get no new tires. I'll come out. Take a shot. You have no hope otherwise. Why not? And occasionally, the crazy happens, as it did here on the last lap. You're starting 10th or something afterwards, but you got fresh tires. Charge forward, see what you can do. Should anyone be outraged at all this? I don't think so. Don't you want drivers going for a win? At every opportunity? Last lap of the race? Charging as hard as you can? Fighting your car if you have to with power steering? I'm going to take a shot. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. No one can say you didn't give your all and take a shot at the victory. And it's the same with Bubba Wallace. He was doing the same thing. Those two, then he got up a little bit, drifted up into the outside. it didn't work out. How about a historical NASCAR note? We don't talk enough about this one. I noticed it on Race Canada on the social feeds. This past week, back in 1974, the late Earl Ross, the pride of Elsa Craig, Ontario, became the first and so far the only Canadian to win a NASCAR Cup Series race, known as the Winston Cup back then, of course, because of the sponsorship. Earl was a rookie that year. He won Rookie of the Year, 1974. Got the pleasure of meeting Earl Ross later in his career. He was racing CASCAR for a few years. I think it's great to acknowledge and celebrate moments like this. Only driver ever to win a NASCAR Cup Series race. There have been others that have participated, but not a lot. Great to see, great to recognize. Formula One is back in action this week. Singapore. A cool story from last week. The Haas team did something very cool, very special for a couple of racers. Romain Grosjean, who of course had that horrific crash at Bahrain 5 years ago, got back into a Formula One car for the first time and did a little test with the Haas team. This was set up and pretty cool. You know, whether you are a fan of Romain Grosjean or not, some are, some aren't. Horrific crash. Pretty cool moment to see him get back into a Formula One car and take it to the track. Grosjean drove in the morning session for Haas. The afternoon session, our favorite racing color commentator, James Hinchcliffe, drove his first ever laps in that same Formula One Haas car. It's a couple of years old, but it's still a Formula One car. Also a pretty cool story for him. I mean, it's great for him, for Hinch, that he gets to learn and experience, and in his commentary role with F1 TV, have even greater knowledge about Formula One cars and what the drivers are experiencing. But it's also really cool that the timing of this first ever F1 test for James took place the same week 10 years ago, where he returned to his IndyCar ride at the time, following his horrific crash at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway that very nearly killed him. It was something special to be at that return to the track. I was there. It took place at Road America, and it was something special. It was a special moment, and really, really cool, and super cool that he got to handle an F1 car for the first time as well. I'm thinking about starting a new segment of this podcast, if you will. We'll call it Strategic Information Leaks. This happens with teams, series, sanctioning bodies. Just when you sort of want to get a little bit of information out or float something as kind of a trial to see what sort of response you get, it gets leaked. Doesn't really get talked about a lot, but that's what happens. So there was a report in the last, 24, 36 hours, depending on when you're seeing this. NASCAR's come up with a new branding strategy for next season, featuring the tagline, "Hell yeah." All right, sure. Now, does it mean that they are targeting the southern roots of stock car racing? Possibly. Honestly, who really cares? What I'd like to see, and what I suspect a lot of fans would like to see in terms of NASCAR, get rid of the complicated point system, make the car better, make the racing better. I don't care what your tagline is. I don't care what your promotional marketing advertising campaign is. We'd like better racing. Also in the strategic leak department, apparently IndyCar is sniffing around Cleveland again for a return to the city. Not necessarily to the airport runway at Burke Lakefront Airport, where they had great racing, but it doesn't really matter. Apparently they're sniffing around there again. Because, we've already got one race in Ohio, Mid-Ohio, the course that Green Savary operates and owns and runs other events as well. But no, we'll put another one in Ohio, as opposed to another city. All right. Anyone recall why they left Cleveland? Business plan? No sponsor. That's why they haven't gone back. So what's the business plan with all this? It's like, oh, are you trying to, tickle the nostalgia feeling for fans? Unless you've got a plan to make this work, why are we even doing this? IndyCar testing season underway. One name that popped up, Mick Schumacher, set to test with Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing. Not really sure why. Name curiosity is one thing, I guess. Guess that would be the reason. Some talent, some skill. If you've driven a Formula One car, I'll give you that. Maybe the name curiosity is going to bring some money to the team, which they could certainly use. Maybe it's a reason that they could put Mick Schumacher in and bring money and not have to deal with Devlin DeFrancesco anymore. I said it out loud. I mean, he trundled around to the back of the pack last year, but he brought money. That's what got him into the seat. We'll see what happens. You've got to improve your performance. Bringing in money this way, maybe that's the way to do it. All right. Formula One, as I mentioned, back in action this week at Singapore. We'll see if Oscar Piastri has regained his composure. Had a bad weekend last time out. Little time off. I suspect he'll be back on it. NASCAR is racing in Charlotte on the course carved out of the infield and the oval, and people like to say Roval. There's your drinking game. Every time they say Roval, take a sip. And only a sip, because it'll be said way too much. All right, that'll wrap up this week's edition of Speed Chronicles. Thanks for checking it out. Again, please like and subscribe, share it around. We'll do it again next Wednesday.